For as long as I can remember, my parents have championed independence for their two girls. They believe the key to that independence is education. I attend a private high school, and the summer after my sophomore year, I work at a gas station. I wipe my hands on the rag hanging from the loop on my bell bottom jeans, reach for the money the customer is holding, run to the register in the service bay to make change. Not a lot of girls work at gas stations, so I usually get a good tip. He walks by every day around the same time. The scene is on repeat. Sometimes I'm sitting in the office. Other times I'm pumping gas, cleaning a windshield, spearing a can of oil with the pour spout. Each time I feel a sensation unlike any other, a momentary pause. My breath holds, watching him walk until he's out of sight, which, because he's tall and long legged with a mile eating stride, is only a heartbeat or two. Or maybe it's forever. He's gone. I finally ask my friend if she knows who he is. She laughs, shaking her head. Took you long enough. What do you mean? My tone all butter wouldn't melt in my mouth. She cuts me a look, smiling, then tells me his name. It's ordinary. To me, his name seems magical. I'm filling the gas tank of a Plymouth Fury, hunkered down at the rear bumper, gas nozzle in my right hand, my left hand resting on the license plate, listening to the flow of the liquid so I know when to release the trigger. I feel as if the fill-up is taking forever. Must have run this bad boy bone dry, I think. I'm impatient. It's almost time for him to walk by. The sound of the flow changes and I let go of the trigger. Nozzle goes back in the cradle. Gas cap on and I flip up the license plate. I tell the customer the total. He hands me a 10 and tells me to keep the change. I make change at the register, put the tip in the jar, turn around in the service bay and see my friend standing there with him. The rest of the day is a blur. Walking past the gas station, he stops for a moment to talk. We have inconsequential conversation that holds all the weight and meaning of a global treaty. At other times, I spend hours with him in the park, listening as he plays the conga. His father owns a taxi, which he drives and uses to take me on rides throughout the county. We each meet the other's family. To surprise me, he drives from Westchester to Riverdale to give me a ride home from school. His friends are now my friends are his. He's the first to call me Ted. He is not my first boyfriend, but he is my first love. I am caught in a dizzying whirl of love and friendship that we nurture together. Even the arguments are satisfying. We are together from that day at the gas station. When we are apart, the world feels out of whack and I am adrift. I get a part-time gig at the cab stand as a dispatcher so I can be near him. I leave the private school I have been attending for what seems like forever to enroll in the local public high school so I can be near him. When he graduates from high school and leaves to attend technical school in another state, I run away from home to be with him. And even though I'm all of 16 years old, I plan to get a job and a place so I can stay with him. Of course, that doesn't work out, and I find myself home in short order. A temporary loss in the battle for love, but not the war. I apply to a college in the state where he now lives, and I am victorious. Heading off with my parents' blessing, I will be with him again. But it doesn't work out that way because I find myself moving on. Moving on to the independent me that beckons, the independence that my parents taught me to strive for, the independence that doesn't include him. How easily I step away without a backward glance. This trajectory repeats throughout my relationships. I am completely enthralled with them all, and I end them all. The basketball player with a soft voice and even softer lips, an advertising executive who makes pizza, creating the dough from scratch, the army officer who matches me drink for drink, always waking up with a hangover, a poultry rancher using free-range techniques long before they are fashionable. My father dies suddenly. I'm rocked back on my heels. and he is there. He has always been in the background, the one who calls me Ted, and I rebound from my loss, allowing him to catch me. Before the independent me comes to her senses because he is comfortable and familiar and still loves me, though I don't know why, we are married and happy and expecting a child. The independent me breaks through, though, tapping her foot in impatience, but not before the second child is on the way. So it ends like this. You need to go. I think you're suffering from postpartum depression. Maybe so, but I made this particular decision months ago. You need to go. How many times have I spoken those words? You need to go. The lessons my parents ingrained in me about the importance of being independent didn't include any teachings about the subtle compromises and adjustments needed to thrive in a relationship. The independence I was taught had a flaw. It rendered me incapable of giving into a relationship. That change in manner and tone. The little things like, hello, my love, instead of, hey, what's up? Letting him hold my hand in the supermarket. I need both hands free while shopping. Leaning in for a kiss while washing the dishes. Seriously? I'm washing the dishes. or leaning into him instead of pushing him away. I just never learned how to do those things while learning how to be independent. So I always felt uncomfortable, out of place. Inevitably, I am contemplating all the reasons why I cannot possibly continue in the relationship. In each, the ending is different, but the finality is absolute. Though not really, because the introspection begins, followed by the doubt. I am me, loud, brash, inappropriate, knowledgeable, opinionated, funny, talkative, too talkative. I enjoy being with and around people, conversation, laughter, tears, shouting, screaming. It all makes me feel so alive because it stifles the doubt. I am nowhere near resolving this contradiction. I don't know that I ever will. But with 7 months and counting of limiting my contact with the outside world, I have discovered the me that I don't really know, the me that I glimpsed along the way, mostly in the failed relationships, the me who likes being alone, balancing the competing and the complementary facets of me. I am, as are we all, a work in progress.